everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at Mad World Tarot. Rather early in the afternoon as I am doing this because it's the school play later this afternoon, all singing and dancing school play. So I have to rush along and help out and applaud and do all that kind of stuff. But anyway, we are looking still today at this truth story, that the truth bomb that Meghan dropped in that Emma Greed podcast a few days ago, where she said that if she was going to do anything differently, she wouldn't change anything herself, because of course she hasn't done anything wrong herself, but she would ask that other people told the truth. So that was the truth bomb, but that truth bomb seems to have bombed. And there was an instant clapback from Kensington Palace through the agency of Rebecca English. She wrote a very harsh article about how Meghan mostly, I guess also Harry, broke some people that Rebecca English knows personally, people who worked for Harry and Meghan at Kensington Palace back in the day. It was a withering article, and she did warn, well, I think Kensington Palace warned via Rebecca English that there is Meghan's truth and then there is that truth. She basically was referencing those bullying allegations which have failed to go away and have been repeated by Vanity Fair, Hollywood Reporter, all the rest of them. So, Shadowland Tarot on the tarot table. Because Neil Sean had an interesting little story about Harry, and he claims that Harry was wound up and set to work by Meghan when this article came out from Rebecca English, and that Harry wrote a letter to Kensington Palace, to their communications team, because he's not allowed to write directly to William or the King. He wrote a letter basically demanding that they clap back, or they do something to unwind what Rebecca English has said, basically a retraction or a correction or an apology or something. Because of course there was that bullying report that the late Queen commissioned that has never been released to the public, and Harry and Meghan submitted a 25-page or 25-point rebuttal, I can't remember what, that they're just dying to release. So this is the context of this little 5-card reading I'm going to do. It interests me, the story about Harry's alleged letter to Kensington Palace, because I saw it. I didn't realize it involved a letter. When I read on this truth bomb originally, I saw that Meghan would be protected from the actual truth as long as Harry was around. I got the King of Pentacles, which is a very Harry card. I didn't realize that the King of Pentacles was actually set to work with his crayons and his colouring in book and having to write a letter to Big Brother at Kensington Palace. We're going to have a quick look at this. As I say, busy afternoon. We're going to ask how Meghan felt when she saw that Rebecca English article. Harry and his letter, whatever we need to know about that letter. I want to know if Harry still really believes that Meghan is innocent in all of this, that she's really not a bully, and that this is all just nasty racism and cruelty, and she's the dearest, sweetest thing. Or is he beginning to get a hint that maybe she is a terrible bully when he's not looking? Allegedly, she's as sweet as it can be when he's around. It's when he's not around that the true nature of the beast is revealed. That's all allegedly, of course. And then we're going to ask how Prince William felt, or how he's going to respond when that letter crossed his desk. Neil Sean said Harry will get 2 out of 10 at least for effort, which made me laugh. It's probably the highest mark Harry has ever got for any piece of writing. My bit of snark, Neil Sean's bit of snark as well. I don't think Neil Sean is making this up. I don't think he would make up such a story, because it's, very obviously damaging if it's not true, and would be the subject of at least a lawyer's letter from the has-been. We know how litigious he is. So I do think that this letter actually happened. Trying to juice these cards up. I haven't used them for ages. The Shadowland Tarot. They're very Harry. And they're very Harry when he's having a strop. And Someone's just sent me a picture of a baboon in Cape Town that's on the rampage. A male baboon. They get kicked out of the troop at some stage, sometimes, the poor things, and then have to go and fend for themselves. And I'm just getting Harry vibe off it. Angry, or, male that's not finding its way in life, kicked out. 5 of Wands in reverse, angry baboon energy. 5 of Wands is fighting. It's fighting with your family, your siblings, your friends, your colleagues, competing, playing dirty, being too aggressive, too competitive, not knowing where the boundaries are when it comes to competition, and trying yourself out, testing yourself against other people, really causing trouble. And so we have that. I would say it's a classic bullying energy, actually, the 5 of Wands for me as a tarot reader. And I need to remind you, of course, this is just tarot and it's for fun and entertainment, or my opinion, or speculation, just reading energy, and there is a disclaimer in the box below. So there we have it. There we have the conflict in this little group, the conflict that is around being too aggressive, too ambitious, not knowing your boundaries, not playing by the rules. And inherent in that card for me as an energy reader is bullying. So we're on the money with this one, I think. Let's have a look at the heart of the matter with this one. And we have the 8 of Cups. This is walking away from something that's painful, trying to leave it behind, trying to move on from it and put it behind you. It's very difficult to put this behind because everybody's still hurt and it's all kind of unresolved. I know that there was that inquiry that the late Queen commissioned. It was very confidential, and it obviously still rankles. It obviously still rankles for the people involved that Rebecca English is talking about and knows personally, and it still rankles for the Parkles. There is a need to move on from this, but how do you move on from something like this when everybody, I believe, everybody still feels aggrieved because it's kind of been swept under the carpet. Allegedly, some people were paid off, but also allegedly some people are still suffering from PTSD. And of course, when Meghan says something like this on a podcast and you can't clap back, and then you hear that she is trying to clap back through Prince Harry, it all hurts all over again. And so that 8 of Cups is interesting energy, because I think it's everyone across the board is feeling this. They'd like to move on, but they're kind of not able to, even though the card is upright, wanting to move on. And that would be Harry trying to shift this energy that Meghan has told him, I need the story to end. We need to put it behind us, because it's, I'm sure, doing tremendous damage to Harry and Meghan's reputation, particularly hers, in California, with all the deals that they're still trying to get, or she's still trying to get, and people are saying, not with that reputation, oh no thank you. My opinion, of course. So let's have a look at how Meghan might have felt when she read that Rebecca English article in the Daily Mail, because you can be damn sure that she read it the minute it came out. How did she feel? Ooh, Ace of Swords in reverse, vicious energy. She would have screamed and shouted that this is lies, 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 because the Ace of Swords is all about truth and clarity. It's a declaration. It's a declaration of intent. This is my truth. This is my purpose. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to be going forward. And it's in reverse. She is hurling things at the walls, and probably at Old Hapless has been as well. There's such rage in that Ace of Swords in reverse of her belief that this is falsehood, and this falsehood is coming from, I would say, my opinion, Prince William directly. And we've seen, because people have dissected that podcast, that Emma Grede one, in minutely, with all the micro expressions and all of that. It's been quite juicy to see the reveals that people have picked up. And she's not one who's able to admit failings and weaknesses and say she would do things differently. Oh no, not her. So she's not one who's going to say, well, maybe Kensington Palace has a point, and maybe I did break people, and maybe, you know, my truth is not the truth. Never, 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 never. It's such savage energy, I can't tell you. My heart is pounding as I'm looking at it. How does Harry and his letter fit into all of this? Whatever universe wants to tell us about the has-been and the letter that he allegedly, according to Neil Sean, and I do believe him in this instance, was compelled to write and send off to Kensington Palace. Can you imagine? I hope he knows how to use a spell checker. And we've got the Hanged Man, and it's in reverse. And the Hanged Man is the self-pity card, the victim card. And this is the Parkles being sick and tired of being called out for this behavior, of being punished endlessly for something that they don't believe they did wrong. It's the punishment card, the Hanged Man. And it is about being victimized, penalized unfairly, being tied and bound, as you can see from the card, and unable to move, unable to defend yourself, being forced to just hang there helplessly, waiting for energy to change. It's in reverse. So this is the moment that I think they sincerely believe, the pair of them, that, you know, the folie à deux that they seem to suffer from, in my inexpert opinion, that this is the moment that they can clarify everything and get the truth out there, their truth, so that they can move on from this wretched saga and clear Meghan's reputation. But it's there in the energy. So now I want to know how Harry actually feels about all of this with Meghan. Does he believe her version of events, or is he at last beginning to see things differently? That's a seeing things differently card, just by the way. The Hanged Man in the reverse is seeing things differently. Does Harry finally see that Meghan might be to blame for this, or does he still believe that she's the dear sweet thing that he sees her as when he sees her interacting with staff? What does he think about this situation? Really? Ooh, we got the Strength card in reverse. I don't think he's quite buying her version of events at all. Its Strength card is, of course, the Harry and Meghan card. It is, of course, very Meghan Markle because it's a Leo. It's in reverse. And the Strength card is about taming your baser instincts. It's about self-mastery. It's courage and open-heartedness and being very engaging and very theatrical and very dynamic and dramatic, because it's Leo energy. When it's upright in reverse, it's your worse instincts, your baser nature that's coming to the fore, and it's weakness. It's a flaw. It's almost like a fatal flaw in the character that can come from being too self-absorbed, too dramatic, too full of yourself. He sees it. He's aware that this is a flaw in her personality. Not that he would ever directly confront her. I don't think it would take a man of much bigger you-know-whats to tackle her directly with this than Harry. I mean, she's got his you-know-whats in her handbag. As everyone says, he's not going to ever confront her with this, but he knows it. And he knows, in my opinion, he knows that this is the reason why their brand is failing, because the Strength card is the Sussex brand, and we all know how that has floundered, and they've in fact been forced to separate themselves. He has long ago separated himself from her floundering brand and left her to it, and he's trying to salvage what he is left of his brand, his humanitarian wada brand, which has also been ruined by her. Sophie Chanduka springs to mind, the Centre Bali polo fiasco in Florida. My, he knows. How did Prince William feel when this letter crossed his desk? How's he going to respond? What does he think of this all? We're going to look at him in the next reading as well, just by the way. We got the Five of Swords in reverse. He really just wishes this whole thing would go away. It's the conflict card, the Five of Swords. We got two conflict cards here, Five of Wands and Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is just relentless struggle coming at you from all sides. And even when you win, you lose with the Five of Swords. And for me as a reader, either way that the card is, whether it's upright or in reverse, you lose. He just looks at it. I think he looks at it and thinks, Harry, what a loser you are to be forced to write this letter, which of course she would have written while he was, lying on the carpet with his Xbox and his bong. That's my bit of snark. And then forged a signature on it. No, that's also my snark. She would never have done something like that. Never, ever, ever. I'm sure that he was roped into actually signing his signature, his e-signature, and sending the email off to Kensington Palace. For fun and entertainment, of course, or speculation, disclaimer in the box below. But Prince William is exhausted by this. He really is. It's just like, how much longer is this going to go on? And of course, we have this as the underlying energy, this endless struggle, Five of Wands, and the desire at the heart of this for everybody to put this behind them and move on. But how is this ever going to happen when nobody can agree on what the truth actually is? And everyone is so invested in their own truths. Well, Harry and Meghan are so invested in their own truths, Meghan more so than Harry. And Harry just shuffling along in the slipstream, really being towed along in the slipstream. Meghan emphatic about her truth. That Ace of Swords for me is emphatic. And the ones who actually have their own truths are not able to express them in public, not yet anyway. Prince William's just exhausted by this. He's not going to react. He's not going to do anything. Rebecca English might have another little article to write in the next few days. Be interesting to see what she says. But he's just like, oh, make it go away, which I think we can all agree on at this point. So there's the reading. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.